Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. I'm going to try to squeeze in one more episode recording tonight. Probably will be the end, but again, you guys don't care what's tonight, what's tomorrow. Topoom! Top you me! I don't know. More base plus 5. Feels like a pretty slow blue-green thing. Xeno and Doomed mechs, basically. You buy one Xeno and then start the Doomed mech train. And if you have any spare money, you're getting something green. A militia on the way will probably be good. I believe I'm happy to be player 2 because green is more natural for me, but blue first won't be too bad either because of militia. So it seems like reasonably close between the two players. Are we getting a third engineer? I think the answer is yes. You will want a large number of drones, but not like enormous. Something like around, I don't know, 17, 18. Because you're absorbing for 3 on Xenos, but actually like once the Doomed mech train has really like come to an end, you're sort of absorbing for like 8. But of course you're having to buy Doomed mechs every turn for that privilege. Anyway, the point is, I think a third NG is probably good. Because of good absorb and good soak. And no real pressure units except for the big soak. Like, Doomed mech is a big pressure unit. You know, I'm just looking at this Doomed mech now, and I've finally figured out what is depicted. His left hand arm, right? Like, that's the one on your right. Actually, I'm still not sure. Like, is that a hand that's kind of dangling there? It always looked to me like kind of disconnected wires coming down from his left shoulder. Like he's falling apart. But maybe it's supposed to be a hand? I can't tell if his hand is like off screen or... What in the world is this? Militia rush? Well, I mean, I could, I could decide not to get the third NG against this. If I wanted. Like, I assume they're getting a militia next turn. I don't totally know why. Say they do that. I can buy all the drones in a conduit. They get another... Yeah... I don't know. I'm gonna want a wall? Yeah, okay. I guess, like, fine. If you want to go super rushy, I can't comfortably afford a third engineer. And then when I build a wall, your 2 militias will get drone value. It'll be amazing for you, question mark, but I think I'd rather just have more drones, right? I don't want to convert this to an Auric because I will not have a lot of energy next turn. And I will probably want like wall drone. Oh, I can't build wall drone. Even wall drone, you know, fine. And I could wall drone Blast Forge? To get that Xeno down? It might be nice to get a militia first, though, before I get this, you know? Probably not. What's with the Auric? What are you going to do with all this money next turn? Yeah. So a Xeno really does not get a lot of value right now, right? Because the opponent can just militia it to death. But getting it down lets me start building Doomed mechs, which is what I really want to do, right? think so. So now I can build like Xeno drone is 8, leaving me 6. Gauss cannon? No, thank you. Maybe just an engineer or 2. Maybe just float it. Yeah, 1 engineer so I can like build doomed mech and some and maybe a couple drones. Huh. We're just gonna go straight into doomed mechs? Or what? It seems weird. On 10 drones? Okay, a Xeno. I don't get it. I mean, I don't have that many more drones, I guess, than my opponent does. And they have a lot more attack? What's my advantage? I have, like, much better tech. And I have tempo on getting the actual good stuff in this set. But maybe I'll come under some pressure if they just, like, start doomed mech training me, maybe? Triple blue! No way! No way! You can't even spend all that once. Can you? I think this should be a militia, shouldn't it? Alright, so I want to build doomed mechs every turn, starting now, right? That's 9. I have more than 9 drones. That's good. What else would I like to do? Well, I kind of need 2 engineers so that I'm granular with my Xeno. And then I can doomed mech and like 2 drones. Seems fine. Or I can doomed mech and tantalum. That's 16. I can't do that forever. It'll probably be like doomed mech tantalum. I can't even build an engie if I do that, can I? Okay, so maybe I'm doing this. I'm basically done droning, and I'll be floating energy next turn, so this is more flexible. And I can maybe get doomed mech tantalum for a couple more turns this way, or at least 1. Actually, I was thinking my opponent would get a Xeno here, and then a doomed mech kind of does nothing, so I would prefer to get militias. But they're not doing that. This just seems so bizarre to me. Yeah, doomed mech, sure. Like, I don't know, what my opponent's doing seems like completely, like, not what the set calls for, but I don't feel like it's left me in an amazing position. I think it's a good position, but like attackers are just generally good, and they're getting value out of these militias. I don't agree with the third blue at all, but I haven't agreed with any turn yet, so you know, why change, I guess. So, right, like a Dune Mech doesn't do anything against this Xeno. Dune Mech Tantalum does a little bit, but why don't I just get 2 militias instead? They can produce income, and then I can get like a Dune Mech and a Tantalum and actually start attacking with the militias. I don't need this. It might be nice to have some energy. I don't need it for granularity, but it shouldn't hurt. Right? What exactly am I buying next turn? Dune Mech. Tantalum is 16. I could get another Tantalum for 23? Or I could just buy some of this stuff back, buy some Oryx back. Yeah. Actually, I can buy 1 Oryx and 2 Tantalums this way, I think. I don't really understand any of this, to be honest with you. And now we're threatening what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And Tantalum clicks will start being more soon. My main problem is I'm not very, like... I'm losing wall here, which is fine. I'm thinking maybe the second Tantalum is too much, and I should just pre-buy the Oryx and get more NGs. This threatens 6, which he has to wall or force field against. Triple blue on 11 drones. I just don't get it. I want to try to like make sure I can keep my Doomed Mech train going, right? I don't want to have to spend blue on defense. And I think that if I had bought a Tantalum Ray, I would have to spend blue on defense. Get a Xeno now? Yeah. So you can spend all this blue, like, on Xenos. That's cool. But you're not getting Doomed Mechs, and that's way... Doomed Mechs are, like, a lot better, I think. What? Okay, sure. You really wanted a Doomed Mech. I could attack for 5 and make him lose 2 NGs instead of wall. I guess it's fine. Here, like, I'm taking $1 and giving him a health, which is a good trade-off, but only if he wants to lose his granularity, which is pretty dangerous to do against all these militias. So I'm threatening 5, 7, 10 next turn. If he loses the 2 NGs, that's walled Xeno. But he doesn't really want to lose the Xeno, so it's a bit awkward. I think this is fine. Not clicking the Gauss charge is not really much of an exploit, so... Or not clicking the Tantalum, I should say. And if my opponent starts losing Xenos already, I'm perfectly fine with that. And actually, it sets me up like a big exploit. I can click both militias this way, right? Although maybe not clicking the Tantalum and then clicking 1 fewer militia would have been better. Okay, the exploit is getting smaller as you build more prompt defense. I'm gonna wait until he figures out how he's defending and then figure out how to exploit it. It's getting kind of complicated. So right now he's keeping, what, 5 health alive? That's wall force field. If I let him keep 6 health, that's Xeno force field, so I don't want to do that. I really would love another Doom Mech here. I have to build several force fields and stop... Yeah, so he can choose to keep both Xenos if he wants, but he exploits himself then. He can just keep the Xenos and lose all of this. So I do need the force field, although maybe holding a drone would be better. No, don't be silly. Okay, this is... I'm finally selling that drone back to get more NGs. Maybe should have done it last turn. He did choose to keep the Xenos. Interesting. One militia click here. Now you're keeping 4 health alive. I don't know, I'm not... he's doing all kinds of weird defensive stuff. I just really need to wait until he's done. Okay. So... I think that this is just like... Shouldn't go low econ here, is the answer. It prevented me from getting a 3rd engineer. I had to react somewhat to this. Even though, like, the wall kind of sucked. It was sort of important to get down a Xeno soonish. And then just sort of transition into the plan that I had of building doomed mechs behind a Xeno with tantalums. A couple militias improved the plan when my opponent got a Xeno. Was the plan improved? Like, it meant that I didn't buy a doomed mech, which... I was, like... It was gonna be hard for me to get a full doomed mech train going, right? A lifespan 5 doomed mech train. I might have to hold one of them for defense early. By building a doomed mech earlier, you might say, that I can get a doomed mech to 1 lifespan to defend with it sooner, and thereby like have a full train. But if the first doomed mech is doing nothing on its first turn, like, yeah, okay, it feels bad to defend, to soak with a 2 lifespan doomed mech, but that's really, like, better than building a doomed mech which does nothing for a turn, and then soaking with it on 1 lifespan. You might as well build some militias, and, if necessary, have a shorter doomed mech train, where you hold them sooner. Because at least the militias did something on that first turn. And so I'm not totally sure if I was going to... how much longer I was going to be able to keep building doomed mechs, but... the details don't really matter because I'm just so far ahead here. I have... better tech, more attackers, and a doomed mech train. I won't really say more drones because at this point we've sort of equalized on drones, but that's... I had a much larger economy for a little while with drones that just got force field and Oryx that just got sold back. I guess the first turn where I could maybe look for some small changes would have been the turn before all my force fields, right? what if I had here gotten NGs? 1 NG even. How much better would that be? Say my opponent does something similar to what he did in real life. I think it was wall force field, right? And then with that you get a Xeno. Yeah, that sounds about right. Now I need 1 less force field to defend on this turn. He's 5 health. Yeah, okay, so we decided to attack with everything here. And that lets me... I can do this. So Q, in fact, interesting. Q prioritizes keeping the Xeno alive over getting more absorb. Good to know. And I guess since the Xeno's attacking for 1, like, it's sort of similar. Yeah, okay. I don't think that's necessarily wrong. I just wasn't sure what Q would do. Here you get, I guess, a force field and like a Doom Deck or something. And what am I, how do I exploit? I exploit by not clicking anything. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously I'm still winning, like, in this line, but I just wanted to see, like, can I actually get the Doom Mech train going all the way? It's starting to look like I can, and my opponent's just about to die. But supposing that they didn't and kept attacking for a similar amount, I might have to cut it short a single turn early. Build walls this coming turn instead. Or defend with the Doomed Mech and build another Doomed Mech. I don't know. Okay, well, that was a relatively short game. Let's try to get another in. Did we play against Subito at all recently? I don't... We played against a name like Kumori or something, which has kind of similar vowel structure and consonant structure, but I don't think I've ever seen this avatar, so... There's a googly eyes ferret, or fibroid now, huh? Cool. And this is the person we just played against, of course. Who is winning? I'm inclined to favor the person who has some attackers. I guess we're trying to build Asteres? That seems pretty optimistic. Why would you get Asteres here? Kumori! We were just discussing you, Kumori. Welcome back. Yeah, Venges should lose. Polywall's just too much soak. And Steel Forge is cool, so... This looks like mostly blue. Like, Oxide and Pixie are just great to... Oxide is a, like, good first attacker. Pixie is a blue sync. Steel Forge is a blue sync. So what exactly is your attacker in this set? Like, probably Tarsiers, honestly, right? Unless your opponent goes for Venges, in which case you just build, like, splitters and polywalls. You might be under a little too much pressure to build Tarsiers in that case. But I think we go for, like, a just sort of... Really? Third engineer, huh? Why? Polywall is soak, but... It's not, like, a ton of defense. Okay, I think I'm just gonna throw in a conduit here because it's pretty natural for player 2. Well, I've done that, I often, like, I don't know. Gauss cannons are an okay secondary attacker, right? And building up a store of green will be kind of cool. I could float it for a while to let me, like, get a Steel Forge. instead if I decide that blue is better. But I think it'll be fine to have some green. I want something besides just plain old blue, and it'll be useful to be able to build Gauss cannons as a supplementary attacker without having to tech up too much. So I could build actually a splitter here and get value from it, which is nice. I was gonna get an oxide mixer, but a splitter who actually attacks is pretty good, I think. Gets value attacking. It kills an engineer, which, like... Actually, is my opponent trying to avenge me? Maybe. Maybe that's what this is about. A bunch of drones, and then green, and then a bunch more green. It's worth thinking about. A splitter to apply pressure to that will be useful. Yeah. And I'm perfectly happy with them doing that because of polywalls. Yeah, okay. So we're trying to go for Venges. Fine. Just put pressure on these drones. That's my plan here. And then when I have to, start building polywalls. You know, I maybe should have considered cutting this splitter to build a Pixie and a Gauss. I don't have enough money for that, right? Okay. I'd like to have 6 attack next turn so that they can't, like... Or threaten 6 attack with Pixies so that they can't have a big polywall turn. I mean, in a way, polywall helps the Venge Cannon player as well because they... yeah, so I have to build 3 attacks, so something like this. They can use it as soak to protect their drones while they get a bunch of green. But I think it's a lot better for the non-Venge player. Because I can continue building polywalls after they have run out of drones to all their Venges. Oh, don't attack for exactly 5. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Yeah, this seems fine. I could build another polywall, and like I'm actually getting absorb value out of all these polys, which is pretty amazing. When they attack for 9, I don't know, polywall only absorbs for 3, right? But it means that like I'll continue having polywalls available. Next turn they'll add some more attack, right? Probably about 2. And then they're attacking for 11, which polywall on polywall is amazing. If they manage to add 3 attack, I guess it's pretty bad, actually. So, like, a Pixie would be really good right now for my opponent. Guess not. Is this good? It might be nice to... Well, they can't ever polywall again, so the question of like saving pixies for polywalls is moot. Just getting attack is pretty good, I think. Well ahead here. Obviously, I didn't want to build 2 polywalls because then they can just deny me all absorb. Can't quite kill this, huh? Well, kill the pixie, sure. Could buy a Venge Cannon here. Attacking for 9 would be a lot better than 7. Maybe I should have done that last turn. But I think this is fine. This is a lot of clicks, it must be said. So this turn, I threaten 7. Seems okay. I can kill a Gauss Cannon, but more likely I'm just killing all the Gauss charges. Oh, that's right, they only have 3. So maybe it is better to kill a cannon. Oh, you should click the one with 9. Oh, this is definitely a mistake. Now I can do this. Although, like, I have... I don't know, I mean, like, if I... I'm trying to make, like... My opponent has no offensive finesse, right? So I need to, find a way to defend that is just above what they're... I need to adjust both my attack and their defense. So that I don't get exploited. I guess this is fine. I don't like holding a drone, but that's life. A force field wouldn't do any better. And it doesn't matter, like anything wins here. So don't stress about it. Alright, they give up. Fine. Yeah. Well, not that much to look at in this game, I'm afraid. It was all pretty much over when they built their second and third conduit. This is just committing to the wrong line. I think the third engineer was wrong also, but maybe Polywall is enough to justify it. I don't think so. Because Oxide Mixer and Pixie mean like that getting your tech early is useful. And so does Steelforge in a way, right? Because Steelforge rewards you for building your first Blast Forge, sort of, right? It discourages building 2 Blast Forges at a time by making the second one cheaper as long as you wait a turn. I guess, okay, the game wasn't exactly over when they did this. I had to adjust a bit to what my opponent was doing. My plan had been to get Oxide Mixer as first attacker, but the line that my opponent took was such that Splitter was better. Right, they are making themselves vulnerable to early attack, and they also seem to want a lot of drones, so killing engineers is like actually quite valuable against this. So a Splitter who like is actually attacking is better than an Oxide Mixer that's saving up attack. It attacks a turn sooner, right? So that was like the first sort of interesting turn for me, I think. And now once they've committed to Venges, you need to respond with pressure and more blue. So that's what the Steel Forge helps with. Yeah, and, you know, okay, here, again, I had to be careful. Make sure you have 6 attack available, but Pixie makes that quite easy. And the opponent went ahead and built a polywall anyway, which is, and like built their own 5 attack, even though I had shown them like, hey, better make sure you have 6 attack available. They didn't, and made this much, much easier for me to defend against, right? I got so much absorb. A better executed Venge Rush might have been a bit trickier to deal with. I think it's still losing because Polywall is so good against it, but I think this was just too soon to pull the trigger because you can't actually get to 6 attack, which is a really important number here. Better to just float some drone, or keep more money by not converting your drones so quickly into attackers who don't do anything. And that preemptive polywall allowed me to get a train of polywalls going for a little while, which was disgusting. And the whole thing just sort of collapsed. Yeah, and my 7 attack was more than enough to deal with their 21 attack. That's how good defending is. I mean, obviously, if they had 21 sustained attack, I'd be in a lot of trouble. But being able to breach them and kill attackers and absorb some of their attack. Okay. So what about this? I ended up holding a drone here. Could I have avoided this somehow? I defended as much as I could on the turn prior. So I don't think I could have, really. I couldn't find a way to attack differently to make it convenient to build like a wall instead. Well, okay, I could have built 2 walls instead of this polywall, obviously that would have been an improvement. But it doesn't actually matter because they're guaranteed dealing at least 6 damage. So it's really just a question of like what's more important, polywall supply or wall supply. And I think the answer is clearly polywall supply. So I should have cut this and built 2 regular walls. That would have... Oh no, Pixie, that's right. Yeah, this was great. Well done, Alan. I could have like made myself feel better by leaving them a little bit more attack and then building a wall to absorb all that attack, but doesn't really make sense. I don't know. Maybe. Like, maybe I could have killed 2 fewer... Like, don't kill the Gauss charges, but start dealing damage to one of these? No. Because then they just like... I don't know. Maybe that would have been good, actually. What does that look like? So we try something like this, right? Now I can't get the pixie, but okay, we do this. And my thinking is now they have another Venge Cannon at 5, which is easier for me to kill. Right. I can ping one down to 6, although this really doesn't do anything. I don't know. I mean, I can evaluate, like, hey, what about some other lines? But the problem is it's sort of hard to tell which line is better when every line wins, right? Although that one damage to the Venge Cannon ended up mattering, because I can kill it now, and, you know, game over, right? Oh, it didn't, because I have a pixie. Okay. Yeah, just not a Venge Cannon set. There's too much support here for blue. Easy to defend. Okay, cool. Well, that will do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.